Hello, students. This is Miss Brown speaking, and today we are going to be talking about food and nutrition. Basically, the thing that gives us energy. So, I am going to be going through this book in your book. So, all notes you can take either on your booklet or you can put your notes on the back if you have to write and you run out of room. So, here we go. What needs food? All living things need energy. Everything. So circle that, highlight it, underline it, whatever you need to do. But make sure you know that all living things need energy. All right, that's how we do what we do every single day. We're going to move on to the next page. How do plants get food? Plants make their own food. I'm going to use green for plants. Plants make their own food through photosynthesis. All right, they don't get their food from the soil. All right. Instead, they make their own sugar. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can get this text tool to work. Aha. Sorry, first time using this text tool. All right. Plants make sugar from light energy. This should sound familiar. Carbon dioxide. Let's see if I can, make it bigger. Plants make sugar from light energy, carbon dioxide, water, and of course the chlorophyll. So you can either write this down here, or it is also right here. Oops. Sorry, wrong tool. All right. Soil does not give plants food. Make sure you understand that. But it does give the plants the waters and minerals. The water comes from soil. Right, water and minerals are important during photosynthesis. So, this is how plants get their food. Moving on. Curiosity. It does stay. Photosynthesis. Not terribly worried that you understand the whole diagram. Just know that basically, roots take in water. Chlorophyll captures the sun energy. Then there's also carbon dioxide. It all becomes sugar. Now the plant, oops, there we go. Okay. So the plant makes sugar. It uses some and stores some. Right? It does not use all the sugar at once. Next page. Alright, so this formula right here, it seems really complicated, but all it's saying is plants take water, carbon dioxide, and light energy, mix it together, and create sugar, which is their food, and oxygen, which is what we need to breathe. So, write this down somewhere on the page. You can write it right underneath here, write it on the back of the page. But this is what happens during photosynthesis. And the end result is that the plant has sugar. Excuse me. The end result is the plant has sugar. So that sugar is energy. So the plant stores energy in its leaves, stores it, leaves, stems, root, fruit, and other parts. This is going to be important. Fruit. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, then it uses the rest. So it stores some, uses some. So the plant breaks down the sugar using respiration. Alright, the only thing you really need to know about respiration is that it's the opposite of photosynthesis. This is all that you need to know. So photosynthesis is how plants make their food, and respiration is how plants eat their food, or how they use their food to get energy. All right. This is the key thing you need to know about photosynthesis and respiration. All right. So, as a review, plants make food during photosynthesis, and then they use energy from that food during respiration. All right, photosynthesis needs light energy, so it has to happen during the day. Respiration can occur whenever. All right, and respiration is something that all living things use. But photosynthesis is unique to plants because only plants make their own food. We do not make our own food. Now, animals. Unlike plants, animals cannot make their own food. So you should know that because you have to eat. And we are animals. Humans are a type of animal. So, main ways to eat. You can either highlight it or write it down on the side. An herbivore is only plants. Carnivore, only meat. Omnivore, both plants and meat. Now, I had a question earlier. What if you're a vegetarian? Because humans are omnivores. All right, humans eat both plants and meat. Now, if you're a vegetarian, you choose not to eat meat. But the human species as a whole can eat meat, and many humans do. So that is why, even if you are personally a vegetarian, or you know someone who's a vegetarian, they're still considered an omnivore because the human race, humans in general, are considered omnivores because humans in general can eat both plants and meat. All right, you need to know these words. You need to know these. Oops. Used the wrong thing again. You need to know these words and what they mean, which is right here. All right, moving on. All right, plants and animals all belong to the food chain. So this is how the food chain works. And I know they have a little picture up there, but it's a little confusing. So first, plants make the green food. So let's say we have a blade of grass. We have some grass. Grass makes its own food because it's a plant. Then, a cute little mouse comes along. The mouse, which is an herbivore, eats the grass. Then, wait a minute. Sorry, that's the best error I can make in this case. Then the carnivore eats the mouse. So in this case, it's a snake. And then finally, a hawk eats the snake. And every single time this happens, energy passes. So the mouse gets energy from eating the grass. The snake gets energy from eating the mouse. The hawk gets energy from eating the snake. So every time you eat, you get energy. And you need to write this down. Plants get energy by making their own food. Animals get energy from eating plants and or other animals. That is important. This right here, important. Won't let me draw anymore. But it is important. Alright, so how do you get the food you eat? I'm pretty sure that not every single student of mine grows plants and raises your own animals. So you eat only the stuff that comes off of your farm. Probably not. So, growing crops and raising animals for food is called agriculture. So agriculture is just a fancy way Agriculture is just a fancy way to say farming. All right. Used to take a lot of time, a lot of work. Remember when we talked about slavery? A lot of times slaves would be working on those farms, those plantations. Nowadays we have tractors. So, make sure you know that agriculture means farming. Moving on. How do animals use food for energy? All right. So we have something called digestion. Digestion is how your body takes this apple, for example, and turns it into energy. So the food is going to break down as you eat. And then it's broken down so small that it's put into your bloodstream. It's called molecules. It's put into your blood, and your blood carries this stuff throughout your body. So it carries all the good things in your food to parts of your body so that they can use it as energy. All right? So animals take in oxygen, we mix it with our food so we can get energy. So we give off water and carbon dioxide when we breathe out. So if you ever breathed out and you saw fog, like a little cloud in front of you when you breathe out on a cold day, this probably happens a lot more in New York than it does in North Carolina, but I'm sure you've seen it before. That's the water you're breathing out. All right. So, when you eat, you start off by mashing food in your mouth with your teeth. Your saliva starts breaking down food, helps mushing it up, makes it easy to swallow. So, then you swallow the apple, and it goes from your mouth down your esophagus into your stomach. All right? In your stomach, there is acid. So your stomach has acid. All right? That breaks down food. Then, even more chemicals are added. These digestive chemicals are like the acid. They break the food down into littler and littler, tinier and tinier pieces until they get to the point where they're put into your bloodstream. The good stuff is put into your bloodstream. All right, so when the apple breaks down, it gets to the small intestine. It's got these little finger-like parts called villi. That's where the blood flows through these. That's where all the good stuff from your food leaves the small intestine, goes into the bloodstream so that the blood can carry that to your body cells to give them energy. All right, then all the bad stuff is gotten rid of out of your body. We're going to leave it there. So, the apple takes hours to do this digest system, but eventually the apple that you ate becomes energy through your digestive system. All right? So, and this is something that's important that a lot of people don't understand. Most of the molecules in an apple are sugar. You think, wait a minute, Miss Brown, apples are not sugar. Well, remember, when plants make their food, they make sugar. So, a lot of the molecules, a lot of the stuff in apples that your body needs are sugars. Sugar is not always bad. Too much is, and we'll get to that in a minute. All right, but not like the sugar is in the apples, not necessarily bad for you. All right, so you use the energy. So your blood brings the sugar that to your body's cells. That's where respiration happens and energy is made. So the blood brings sugars to cells. Cells use sugar in respiration. to make energy. And then you use this energy to do everything you do in your life. Alright, then the blood carries out the water vapor and the carbon dioxide so you can get rid of them. The food that is not eaten leaves the body as waste, and that's all we're saying about that. Alright, now some animals, like cows, camels, and giraffes, have stomachs that are separated into several sections because they eat grass, which takes a lot longer to digest than some of the food that we eat. When they're being hunted, sometimes they have to eat and run so they can store food in one part of their stomach. So then they can kind of bring it back up to their mouths so they can chew it some more, put it back down in another stomach. Don't worry too much about that part. So, food. This part's important. I'm running out of different colors. I'm not even sure what colors I have used yet. Haven't used yet. The useful materials in food are called nutrients. And your body needs many different kinds of nutrients. So different foods have different nutrients. So it's important to eat a variety of foods. So this is why we say that you shouldn't just eat hamburgers every single night. Alright, different foods have different nutrients. And you need a whole bunch of nutrients in order to stay healthy. Alright, so we have nutrients that come from living things, which are organic. Nutrients that are not made by living things are called inorganic. Alright, organic nutrients. Your body gets most of its energy from carbohydrates. Alright, this is the sugar that we talk about. Alright, this is the sugars. Carbohydrates are sugars. Simple carbohydrates are sugars. Anything sweet. Alright, you digest them very quickly, but if you don't use them, if you're not active running around and burning off that sugar, it can be stored as fat. More complex carbohydrates are starches. They're bigger, so it takes more time for your body to break them down. So it gives you more even energy rather than giving you spikes of energy. Alright? So, come on. There we are. Carbohydrates are usually sugars. Carbohydrates. We're going to start there. Simple are sugars. Complex are starches. Simple breaks down fast, but can be stored as fat if not used. Complex breaks down slower than the simple. Even energy. So no spikes. When you think about it, when you eat sugar, you get the spike of energy and then you crash as soon as you use it. With these complex carbs, potatoes, rice, corn, wheat, you don't get the energy rush all at once. The energy breaks up. Oh, excuse me. the carbohydrate is broken down slower, so you have a more steady level of energy. So this is how simple carbs are. They give you a sugar high, then you crash. Whereas carbohydrates, when you eat them, they give you a steady level of energy. And you should probably have more complex carbohydrates than simple carbohydrates, but don't eat too many carbohydrates. All right, next, lipids. Lipids are your fats, your oils. All right, nuts, meats, some other foods have lipids. So they have a lot of energy. They have more energy than carbohydrates. That doesn't mean you should eat more. And there are some healthy fats. All right? Yes, I know that sounds weird. So lipids are fats. There are some healthy fats. Nuts, fish, avocados. These are all healthy fats. These are the bad fats. All right, there's good fats and bad fats. These ones are bad, as tasty as they are. These ones are better for you. So when you're eating, try to find healthy fats, fish, avocados, nuts, things like that. All right? So all bodies need some fat. Help keep you warm, help keep your skin and hair healthy. And some of them are good. But some fatty foods just become fat on your body. And too much of it can be bad for your heart along with other parts of your body. So when you're, if you're ever helping your parents decide what's for dinner, pick healthy fats. Do not get these bad fats down here. All right, next, protein. Protein is important to build and repair your cells. It basically makes you strong and healthy. All right, protein is usually found in animal foods. But it is in some plants as well. So there are people who don't eat meat. They can get their protein by eating foods from plants. For most people, though, most of your protein comes from meat. So unless you're a vegetarian, more than likely most of your protein comes from meat or other animal products. Unless you're a vegetarian or a vegan. All right, fiber. Fiber is important. Fiber helps your digestive system work right. All right, without it, that's when you get those stomach aches. That's when your body just doesn't work. Your digestive system just doesn't work correctly in that case. So, you need fresh fruits and vegetables, beans, and whole grains to get fiber in your diet. All right, so fiber is important. Even though you can't digest it, it just helps make the whole system run smoothly and not make you sick to your stomach because you ate too much and your body can't handle it. Or you ate the wrong kind of things and your body can't handle it. Vitamins. Vitamins are chemicals that do something important for your body. All right, you don't need a whole lot of each vitamin, but you can get sick without enough of them. All right, like vitamin A, vitamin C. I'm sure you've heard that before. If you're sick, drink orange juice or some kind of juice that has vitamins in it. If you think you're about to get sick, drink some juice that has vitamin C. It can help with your cold. All right. Then we also have minerals. So we can get the minerals because plants take it up in their roots. So the plants absorb the minerals from the ground, and then we eat the plants. That's how we get minerals. So you might have heard that you need salt. And yes, salt is a mineral. It's a rock. So when you put salt on your food, you're really putting a rock on your food. But you need it. Zinc, iron, copper, calcium, and potassium. All right, those are all things that we need. Calcium, I'm sure you've heard of it, helps keep your teeth and your bones strong. You get it from milk. Your blood needs iron to help carry oxygen around. There's salt in your body. It's in your sweat, your blood, your tears. All right, you only need a small amount of most minerals, but your body can't make them, so you have to eat them. All right, your body cannot make salt, so you have to have some salt in your diet. Not too much, because remember, too much of these things is bad for you, but you do need a little bit. All right. Now, eating the right mix of food is very important. So, but the thing is, you could probably live without food for a month. Don't try that at home. But if you were stranded on a desert island and you didn't have any food, you could probably survive a month. If you didn't have any water, you'd only last about a week. You need water. More than half your body is water. Almost every part of your body needs water. Your blood is mostly made of water. You need water. So drink. Best way to do that, just drink clean water, especially when it's hot and when you exercise. All right, if you feel thirsty, get some water. Not right now. Do not get out of class to go get water. All right, conclusion. Plants and animals must turn food into energy. Plants make their own food. Animals, including humans, have to eat food. Your body uses food for energy without you having to think about it. But you do need to think about what food you eat. Pay attention. Make sure that you're eating the right mix of foods and not too much junk. All right? So the most important thing is to eat many different kinds of food. And then also don't have too much fat and sugar. Junk foods that don't have vitamins, minerals, and the good stuff for you, get rid of them. What you really need are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean meats. That'll give your body what you need. And the glossary. We have carbs, and we will go through each of these on Wednesday. We will do some work on vocabulary. But for now, that is the end of Miss Brown Presents. I hope you enjoyed. Any notes that you need to take, I hope you took them in your booklet. Please do not lose that booklet. We will be using it all this week. And now, make sure that booklet is safe. Make sure that you highlighted and circled, underlined, took notes, whatever you need to. And that's it for today. This is Miss Brown from Miss Brown Presents, and thank you for joining me.